YouTube. All right, everybody watching on YouTube later or now live at twitch.tv/the_control-freak. Just finished up a league with Rakdos Saga Shadow that should be up pretty shortly. But now we're going to play a league with Tried and True John. Played a league with it on Monday and I think went 4-1. So hopefully we can get that elusive 5-0 today. This variation, not running Dolphy in the main. I have really been liking Dolphy, but it's felt worse and worse recently. Less Living End, more like Murktide and stuff. And where it should be okay against Murktide, it's just like not. So instead, we're going to go more aggressive. We've got like Wrenn and 6, Croaks, Riveteers, Charm, Grist, Spyro in the main, another Spyro on the board to help out with like Blood Moon and stuff. And let's just go ahead and hop in and see what happens. You can see the embarrassing end to our loss against Amulet Titan. All right, so deck like this, some of the matchups I'm interested in running into would be like blue-white controls, not the worst. Let's see, Storm. Not that we're likely to see that one. Like Zoo's not bad. The Underworld Breach decks. Really, you don't have a lot of like great matchups. You just have the fact that you have aggression with disruption. And that's like reasonable against a lot of matchups. So less targeting a specific matchup and more about just getting good hands. Which I guess is technically a little more under your control. Right off the top. Pretty likely Tron. Go back to Bobble. Likely Tron and the kept 7, so... Oh, not Tron. Not Tron at all. Burn? I don't know what this is. Red Mesa Ragavan. I guess I'm just going to play my own Ragavan here. Like, if they deal with it and hit me, then I still get to, like, shock, Thoughtseize, maybe Shadow next turn. If they offer up the trade, I'll take the trade. Pretty good answer to Ragavan. It's just like a red-white land destruction deck. Like I'm about to get blood mooned. Chalice. Oh, sure. I'm A-okay with the way that turned out. Here's a Thoughtseize. Spyro, Fury. Fury gone. Do have a Magus. So I've got 4 bolts, 4 unholy heats, or 3 unholy heats, 4 bolts. There's one of them. Ah. Love a good Magus of the Moon cheese out. Okay. So no Spyros coming in. Really want to terminate. Bring in an E. Got Abrupt Decay. Could bring in Lili onto the Veil. It's just like a good card to hit off of turn 1 Ragavan. I'm going to pass on that one. Okay. Yeah, we answer Blood Moon. We answer Ragavan. Double Blood Moon. Okay. I'm going to take Spyro. Next turn on Holy Heat Stoneforge. And then try to land Grist. Alright, that can get basic Swamp. Yep. Go get Cauldra. Sword of Fire and Ice. Let's get Stomping Ground. Go ahead and get the basic Swamp. At least if they like slam a blood moon here, we've got a plan. For the top deck of Fury. Answer to a Stone Forge. TBD. All right. Do we have a Dismember in this list? Or no, we got a the Charm. Now we can't cast that with Blood Moon. All right. Spyro. Nope. Okay. Needed to find like a Ragavan just immediately. Did we have a Dismember in here? Do not. Should probably add one. Not just for Cauldra, but it's just good with like Shadow and Battle Rage. Ugh. I love spending round one against Blood Moon dot deck. I could probably see swapping out like third Unholy Heat for a Dismember or second Riveteers Charm. One of the two. I think I'm going to throw this back. No red mana. No guarantee we're going to hit it off the Bloodstain, or not the Bloodstain, right? The Mishra's Bauble. What do we got? Blue-white control. currencies would be great. Wren's not bad. How? I think I'm just gonna Croxa. If I'd known they were just F6, then maybe I would have played Wrenn instead, but deal. The old 3-for-1 Croxa. We take those. For one, Croak send it to Fairy. All right. What you got? Fire my Ragavan. Sounds good. So let's go Wrenn. Tick up. Land. Holy Heat the Teferi. Fetch and Shock. Play Grist. Pick up you. Say go. How afraid am I of Supreme Verdict? Not too much. Play a Tarmogoyf, see what happens. Cryptic Command. Okay. Take a Riveteers Charm. Each one is life equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. So currently 2. If they verdict, it's 3. feel like they've got another Solitude. Let's get cracking. Guess they could have like a fire and ice. But feels like a maybe not. Scratch that. I'll just bolt them here. Okay, if you're gonna tap off counter magic, go for it. I guess I could have just could have cast the charm and just like made sure it resolved there, but seems a little unnecessary. Alright, we got Lilies, Turoks, Spyro. Not Chalice, bringing in EE in case they're bringing in Chalice. Push is meh, Battle Rage is meh. Terminate's pretty bad. Abrupt Decay hits Chalice or Teferi. I'd actually rather have Bolt over Heat. Heat hits the Planeswalkers, but like Bolt hits the Planeswalkers after they've come down and activated anyway. But also just has the ability to go face. So Inquisition into Croxa into maybe find a third lane Grist. Inquisition into Croxa into definitely find third lane Grist. Geist of Saint Traft. Geist of Saint, get out of here. Let's just play Croxa. It's one ending gone. Hope their two blind draws were land Geist. Do I want to take the Wrenn ping? Do I want Unholy Heat? I'm just going to take the Wrenn ping. Like, if they decide they can leave it around for a turn and not ending, then I can get back the foothills. But yeah, if they draw the land, then it's pretty easy to just counterspell. Man, deck's good against beating blue-white. Counterspell is gone. Second red, be able to Croxa. Not concede game. Yield. Alright. Archmage's Charm, unknown. I guess this is just hold up charm for Croxa. Let's just pass. What do I think about Fable of the Mirror Breaker and John Grix of Shadow? Could it help us? So, what does Fable do that you're interested in having access to? Like, what would be your reasoning for casting or for wanting Fable? Recently won my local RCQ with Grix's Shadow. Nice. Congrats. Currently 2 creatures in the yard. Played Fury in the main and it was dope. Was I saw a list on Goldfish with 2 Fury in the main. Was that yours? See if I can find it. With this one. I assume since it's got the RCQ first place. How was it? How was how were the Furies? Went 7-0-2. Hell yeah. That's awesome. Alright, let's go land, instant, sorcery. Keep all of our creatures for Grist. Keep our card types for Delirium. Man, I am loving these 3-for-1 Croaxas. Like, why would you not go to your turn and see if you just happen to draw a land and can just hard cast the Solitude? Fury was a house against 4 color somehow. That's interesting. Like, I wouldn't have thought of that card as being very good in that matchup. I don't have a stop on their upkeep. Like, when I think 4 color, I think of like going down a card and 2-for-1ing yourself as being pretty bad. Ooh, what a hot draw. I think I'm going to Spyro and ditch Bloodstained Mire and EE. It's like way past the point that I care about Chalice of the Void. I know they're drawing a Flooded Strand here. Do have the Verdict. Always hard casted it. Yeah, I mean, hard casting's definitely better for it. No argument there. Goyf and a Turok, you say? So I still have another Blood Crypt. I could go Wrenn. Yeah. Wrenn, get back either land, play you, get Blood Crypt, cast a Tarmogoyf, and cast a 2/1 Turok. They draw into Geist. Geist has to chump block. Dies to either one of these creatures. Right. Redrawing the Lili. Ah, that would have been epic. So you cut down to 3 Shadow, 3 Dragon's Rage Channeler, the 2 Fury. You got to terminate in the main. I mean, hard casting Fury off 19 lands is interesting. Played the Fury over Gigantha. So what was the reasoning behind the Fury? Like, I'd imagine it wasn't, I want to play 2 Fury for the 4-color matchup. But 2 Kaido, 2 Turok, all really good against 4-color. 2 Brutality. I mean, was it just like a meta call expecting a bunch of like hammer time and stuff? Easier with Monkey's Treasure, sure, but like your Ragavan's not living and attacking a bunch against 4-color. With their Fury, Solitude, Wrenn and 6, Unholy Heats, Ice Fang Coatls, blah, blah, blah. Nope, this hand doesn't do nearly enough. This hand does more. Throw back the Charm, or am I throwing back second Goyf? Throw back the second Goyf. Not sure it's just good overall though. I mean, that's fair reasoning. I can't hate on it. Kind of like if it works, it works, right? What are we up against? Tron. Tron. Round 1, Living In. Round 2, The Mirror. Round 3, 4-color. Round 4, Jeskai, Breach. I mean, decent number of those are like relatively good matchups, right? Nemesis, indeed. Don't have turn 3 Tron, and maybe we'll have a chance. Worm coil engine. Well, I guess my wish was fulfilled. It's not turn 3 Tron. Top 8 was Goblins into Amulet Titan. Goblins is can be a rough matchup. It depends. Like, paper Goblins players are a lot better than online Goblins players, which is kind of funny. So true, right? Like, it's weird to think about, but that's just like how it always plays out. Like, uh, paper Goblins players have an idea of what they're doing. Is this just like an or is this Emrakul? Not Emrakul. There we go. Yeah, just stone cold to that. People playing modern Goblins in 22 are usually also jamming Goblins in Legacy regularly. Well, there's like a period right after Conspicuous Snoop came out that people were like jamming Goblins like crazy online and just playing horrendously. And like we were running over them left and right. It felt great. But then you get like the actual paper players that know how to play Goblins, and it's a whole different experience. If I could play Legacy, Goblins would be my deck. Goblins are pretty sweet. Gem Palm Incinerator is a hell of a card, too. All right. Keep this. And I really don't want to pitch the Bolt. Bolt like proactively grows Shadow, but Battle Rage is Battle Rage. I think I'm just going to ship the Bolt. Used to be a tribal guy. So did I. Like, I played fairies in standard. I played them in extended, modern, and then moved from like fairies to Grixis control, and then Grixis control to Grixis shadow when it came around. All right, star or scrying sphere. I think we're just taking the sphere here. Got them off green mana. Yeah, Steven, we lost to Burn in round 3. We never saw an Urza Saga game, of course. Degasphere, top Degasphere. We never saw a Urza Saga game 2 or 3. And then we lost to Amulet Titan in the last round. Tron Land and Payoff are always on top. Not wrong. Not wrong, MTG bot. There's the missing Tron Land. Their two top decks have been second Chromatic Sphere and missing Tron Land. So let's dash a monkey, get some damage in. Alpine Moon name. Urza's power, not power plant. Mine. Did they accidentally get a second tower? That's got to mean they've got mine in hand, right? Or not second tower. They got second power plant. Why would you get second power plant? I think they goofed. I want to cast this, right? Because if I hit a land, then next turn I can dash Ragavan plus Battle Rage. I can do that anyway if I hit a land. Or a Mishra's Bauble. One of the two. Greed Keep is greedy. Look, Tron is difficult deck. Very hard to figure out which Tron land you need when you don't top deck everything. It's very hard to look down at your deck full of Tron lands and be like, ah. I'm okay if tribes don't come back in any meaningful way, or arch nemesis humans can just stay irrelevant. Thanks. Well, I mean, like, tribal decks that have cool tribal cards are cool. Tribal decks that are just tribal because they play a bunch of good creatures and have Cavern of Souls and perfect mana are not cool. All right, so Battle Rage is currently 8. I guess I'm just dashing Ragavan still. Am I dashing Ragavan? I think I might actually be better off just battle raging Tarmogoyf here and dealing the 8. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Then they have to blow up the O Stone before I'm done with combat next turn. Which means I get to play the second Alpine Moon. If I hit a land, I can play like Alpine Moon, Thoughtseize, Ragavan. If I don't, then I can play like Thoughtseize, Alpine Moon. Always just draw a lightning bolt. No. All right. So now they have to blow up O Stone. We get to Thoughtseize. Worm Coil Engine. We playing. Yeah, we're just going Ragavan and Alpine Moon. Alpine Moon, name. Urza's power. I don't know. Saw a third power plant in hand. Here's Ragavan. Go. So We just need to dodge Arn for walking ballista. Or they just find Sylvan Scrying for blast zone. All right. We find a land to kick a Turok. Just for the fun of it. Monkey looking from a forest. Koi feeding a person. Alright. So let's get Turok. Snag Veil of Summer. Grow Turok. Say go. Dodge something that wins the game for our opponent. Oh my god, we dodged a top deck. It's a Christmas miracle. We try the blue snake from Dominaria. You mean the Terror? We have not tried it yet. I know Spike was trying it the other day, but in like a shell with some dude that gets bigger with instants and sorceries in your yard. But I've not tried it in a shadow shell yet. Haughty Gen. Yeah, that one. I watched for a second. It was like, I think he said the reason to play it over any of the other things that do a similar effect was because you get free Apostles Blessing off of it. What do I think of this? Ship this. Even if I found a land to Wrenn in 6, like this isn't doing anything. That's a lot better. Since you tagged me, figured I'd just respond while you're streaming. Rhino's is bad versus most of the top decks right now, even with 4 force. You suck versus hammer. Makes sense. Like, I'm always getting a kick when I watch like any of these statistics breakdowns, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm like 70% versus rhinos with Grixis Shadow, and like, I'm sure that y'all are. I personally am not. Like, I seem to run into the rhinos players that just have the stuff. Alright. Probably, if they have second Tron land, then we're probably going to have to Thoughtseize here. So go like second Tron land, Sylvan Scrying. But if they do this, I'm doing Liliana. Living End's probably the best Cascade deck. I mean, I would agree with that. Like, Living End just does everything, unfortunately. Get to play like the best interaction mixed with the best just straightforward game plan. I'm gonna get Veil of Summered. I don't want to go for the double discard next turn. The Croxa plus Thoughtseize. Since I'm not escaping Croxa next turn anyway. Or I guess the triple discard. Lili, Thoughtseize, Croxa. So fetch land to the yard. Lili take up. Still not at Croxa, so let's go Lili. Croxa. Dogfish sounds like an angsty teenager. Dogfish absolutely is an angsty teenager. All is dust. They have Tron. We're just trying to dodge a top deck. Black. You. Land. Sorcery. Sure. I think they should have cracked the Pete land into turn. Now they're down 1 mana, so like they can't hit Karn, big Karn. But we'll take it. But yeah, like my issue with Fable of the Mirror Breaker is I just don't know if it does anything that you're interested in Shadow. Like I said, what's the draw? What's the thing? Yeah, like if I'm playing something with that effect, I would rather play Spyro. The multiple bodies, the immediate redraw. Let's bubble use, see what's on top. Gilt Leaf Palace. Am I against Elves? Are we actually factually against Elves? Not only Elves, combo Elves. Let's take a company. Go. But like, you don't care about a 3 mana 2/2 making treasure. Like, ramping from 3 to 5 or 4 to 6 means nothing to your deck. It's just like focused on playing 1-drops. So I would say the whole token making treasures is completely negligible. Like, it just isn't something you care about in the slightest. But then, like, if you care about the rummage effect, then Seasoned Pyromancer does that immediately. You don't have to wait a turn to, like, you get to know all your information right now. You get the cost up front. We're gonna play the Visionary. Master, okay. We'd like to land there. Am I supposed to be saving this for Leaf Crown Elder? I'm just gonna kill this and get the extra damage in. Don't like Spyro in mid-range plans. What's wrong with Spyro? Spyro's like fantastic in mid-range plans. All right, give me a fetch land. One fetch land, game equals over. Thank you. All right, let's kill you. Play second Goyf. Go. As long as you don't rip like company into double shaman, game is hopefully actually over. Yeah, one shaman's fine. Hiya. Hiya. Survey says DBR kill. DBR kill. Because in mid-range, your spells should be able to value to other decks. I find myself a lot of times wanting to play my spells, not discard because they're good. But I have no chance to keep them if I jam them Spyro in hand. Well, you don't have to play the Spyro right away. Like, mid-range mirrors are going to go down to one of two ways. Like, option number one is your spells line up, you trade one for one, and you try to get to be the better top deck between the two of you, in which case Spyro is fantastic. Or option number two, you're ahead or behind because your spells aren't lining up or they're lining up extremely well. In which case, if you're ahead, you don't care if you don't cast Spyro. If you're behind, then it helps you ditch the dead things to rebuild.
It's not difficult because it is hard to sit in the cross-legged position or to attain enlightenment.
All Elves. Threes. Terminate. I think I want Chalice. Riveteers Charm's pretty bad.
In Japan, we have the phrase shoshin, which means beginner's mind. If your mind is empty,
Bad.
it is always ready for anything. It is open to everything. In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities. In the beginner's mind, there are few.
Got a Ragavan and Unholy Heat. Keep it. It's not great. But if you need to play a body and you have good spells in hand, you can't do both. I mean, like, if you're playing a mid-range deck, then if you need to play a body, you're probably in a spot where your spells don't either. All right, if you're playing a mid-range deck, there's no point that you need to play a body unless you're against something like Unfair, in which case your spells are probably bad because you're playing a reactive mid-range deck and you can ditch them. If you're in like a mid-range mirror, then assuming your spells are good, then just cast your spells. You don't need to play the body. Like, there's not going to be many times where you need to do both. I mean, I know there's a non-zero number of times you need to do both, but it's really not that often. What is this? Fatal push. Sure. I think we're gonna Thought Seize and Shadow. Take an Archdruid. Or take a company. Yeah, take a company and we can Unholy Heat Archdruid. Let people say it's bad so I can get full art foils that are easier. You wanna swing in with that Nettle Sentinel? Hop on over. It's worth a try. Okay. Let's think about life total management a little bit. I think I want to just be mana efficient. Play Goyf and Unholy Heat. So we'll start with Goyf, attack with Shadow, see if we can get the block. No block, so we'll just Unholy Heat the Archdruid. Say go. All right. It's funny that some see it as unplayable in mid-range, while others think the card is one of the most unfair things in the format. Both opinions have been expressed several times in the chat of this channel. That's also very fair. I don't think it's bad. I think in reanimation decks or something like uses the graveyard is pretty good. I think like every mid-range deck uses the graveyard though. Like Goyf, Kroxa, Wrenn 6, Unholy Heat, Dragon's Rage Channeler, um, Murktide, like all of those use the graveyard pretty aggressively. They're all fairly mid-range cards. But I just think there's like very few, if ever, times in modern that your card or that your hand lines up so perfectly that you can't throw away a single one of those spells to Seasoned Pyromancer. And if your hand is that perfect, then just don't throw anything to it. Like, you just don't need to throw anything away if your hand is that good. But if your hand is not that good, that you feel the need or that you have to play out Seasoned Pyromancer, then clearly there's some part of that hand that isn't perfect. If it was, you wouldn't need to play out Seasoned Pyromancer. Burn. I'm going to hold up Unholy Heat. Also, Spyro Flashback's surprisingly relevant. Yes, Spyro Flashback's been fantastic for me. I know you want to give me a land. Don't be greedy over there, Goblin God. Alright. So that's 12 points of burn. We're very clearly going to find a Death Shadow off the top of our library here. Shadow. Not quite. All right. I think I'm just going to scoop it up before we show we're on Death Shadow. They didn't play a land last turn, so there's a reasonable chance that they've just got 2 burn spells and I can't kill them in the meantime. Even if I hit the Shadow. Chalice. I even try Rabble Master. I cannot possibly support a plan that involves Rabble Master in the year of our Lord 2022. Like, if we're talking about cards that are pretty much unplayable now. The dude, 3-mana dude that dies to Unholy Heat, Lightning Bolt. Like, this is coming from somebody that does, in fact, try damn near everything. I can't picture Rabble Master being the answer of choice. Just want to play Olivia Valdarin. Give me back my Hunt Masters, you fiends. All right, can you play a creature? Oh, deal. Deal all day. All right. What's on top? Nice. So bolt you. Play this. Fetch and shock. Play a shadow. Pass the turn. Our opponent is going to play land searing blaze on our shadow. Don't you dare make a liar out of me. Sunbaked Canyon. All right. Lightning Helix. Okay. Does everybody have deflecting palm today? Did you not kill me? Why does everybody have deflecting palm today? 2 losses to burn, both to deflecting palm. Card's so bad. All right. 3-2 on the verge of 4-1, kind of. Not really. Still had to go to game 3. Deck performed reasonable. I can't complain about how we did that league. Can't complain too much. Riveteers charm is still meh. Grist was okay, but we saw it against blue-white control where it's just going to be like nuts regardless. I still feel like Jun kind of needs like Dothy or something that is a bit of a scam card. Just get you out of some rough matchups in the main. See, what have I missed in chat? I don't know how to say it. Pat Rex. Pack Rat sucks. Don't say Pack Rat sucks. Kind of a troll, yeah, but a lot of MTG players are just people that play what the others play. To an extent, like everybody net decks a little bit. S986S, thank you so much for the follow. Missed it a minute ago, but appreciate it. Let's see. So I think I'm going to send everybody over to Fohio. Fohio is playing some Scape Shift. So if you want to stick around and share some love for the channel, feel free to do that. Otherwise, hope everybody has a fantastic rest of their Friday. As always, appreciate the new follows. If you're wanting to see this or any other Shadow content, exclamation Twitter, best place to see when we go live. Exclamation YouTube to see this and other leagues available, and exclamation Discord if you want to hop in our Discord and check out any of the lists or breakdowns we've got, or if you want to discuss anything Shadow related. But yeah, hope everybody has a great rest of your Friday. Stay safe, enjoy some good food and company. We might be live tomorrow. We'll see. But other than that, I will catch everyone later. Adios for now.